It is time for Losers Finals of Splatoon at Riptide 2021. Qualifying in from the Losers semifinal, we've got Ross, Twig, Nick, and Shidex from Arctic Moon. And their opponent. You probably have heard of them at this point. Been around for a little while. It's Ant, Jared, Bran, and why am I blanking? Wait, Ice. Why am I blanking? I should know this by now. I should have them roster memorized. It's Starburst, everybody. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Now to hand it over to our casters for the rest of the event, we've got Rissa and Siren. You two, take it away.
All right, K-Bot, thank you so much for introducing the two teams for us. And Siren, how are you feeling as we're going into Losers Finals?
Honestly, I'm pumped. As you've probably seen if you've been watching the event so far today, this is actually a run back from a set that actually happened earlier that went all the way to Game 5. Of course, Starburst coming out, the winners of that in the final game. But now we're going to be seeing this come back. And obviously, Arctic Moon just came out of a win, a really convincing one, a 3-0 win against Climb, which is going to be... I appear to be Mr. Popgun, but it is going to be, you know, they're coming in with a lot of momentum into this.
They are coming off of a set like that with that type of momentum. I mean, the momentum that you have just will continue on, especially going into Losers Finals of all things and against Starburst. I feel like Arctic Moon has to be feeling really good right now. And I don't think you were here for it earlier, but these two teams did face off earlier in the bracket.
Yep.
And it went all the way to a Game 5. It was so hype. We had everyone in this venue around the two tables watching, and it was really hype.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of separate cheers from the audience. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I think K-Bot might be hyping up the crowd just a little bit. We're hearing a lot of excitement. People are ready to see the set, and they're ready to see it up on the main stage happening again, especially with a lot of vengeance coming out of Arctic Moon.
Yeah, I'm sure K-Bot's out there. You know, it's always fun, you know, getting into Losers Finals, Grands Finals, you know, someone out there hyping up the crowd, potentially doing the wave. That's my favorite.
And we are going to be seeing one of these teams, of course, in Grand Finals for sure, waiting to fight off against not FT Win. And that's obviously, I mean, whoever gets this is going for the grand prize. Absolutely.
I know. And just thinking about this, thinking about any other Losers Finals match that you'd want to watch, especially this one already went to a Game 5. These two teams, you know, about, what was it, 2 hours or so ago, an hour ago. They've already fought each other. They know what comps they play. They already know a little bit how each other plays in general. So just going into this is just going to be so hyped to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And now, of course, Arctic Moon, they have some steam in their engine. They've had more time to play, actually, than Starburst. They've been sitting around for a little while. They're going right back into a set after finishing their current one. They don't have a lot of downtime here, and that's going to give them maybe a bit of an upper hand this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, that momentum, it just can carry on, you know. Starburst has had a little bit of downtime to sit and wait, as they have been waiting in Losers Finals in the bracket for a little while now. So they have had a little bit of time to each stop and maybe take a breather, maybe rethink about some game plans that they want to do, so that might work in their favor too. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. And also, so this is the only day of the tournament where counter picks are allowed. So the rest of the tournament was a predetermined map, all best of fives throughout this whole tournament. So we get to see, as you guys have already previously seen on the stream, counter picks as we go into Losers Finals and Grand Finals.
Yeah, so looking like it's going to be Splat Zones on Wahoo World, which will be the first deciding map of this set. Who do you think has the upper hand in this one?
That's a really good question. I don't know, like, just thinking about, I really want to see how this, I want to kind of use this as a neutral game to really see if they're going to have any weapon switch-ups that they were playing from earlier. Like I saw ice on the Jet Squelcher. Didn't see the ice charger, so I'm wondering if maybe that'll come out for this one. You know, I don't know. Do you think either one of the teams will have an upper hand for this?
Well, I think Wahoo World is a good pick for this map list as far as like a first game going in a counter pick set, just because I don't think of a lot of things that have like a huge advantage over others. Like I don't think any certain specials or weapons are broken here necessarily. So I think it's actually a really, really good one to start off on because like you said, we do want this to be a bit of a neutral game to figure out what's going to be going on from here out.
Yeah.
And I think Wahoo World is going to be the perfect one to do that.
I do too, and I feel like this map is such a mixed bag. Like people really hate it or they like really love it. And are you a Wahoo fan? Or are you a?
I'm a bit of a Wahoo stan, I would say. Honestly, it's a really good map. I enjoy playing it a lot. There's a lot of different opportunities and paths you can take, but ultimately it's something that just comes naturally as you play it, and you don't really need to think too hard about it. And that's what I really like about Wahoo World.
Yeah, and it can be really easy to get locked out of Wahoo zones if the team that has advantage, they're pushed up past the zone and they're just holding the other team's plat area, which is that area past the zone. It can just be so hard to push back in. Even if you have specials, just if the other team sets up a wall just perfectly, it can be really difficult to push back in if you can't get the right picks, even if you burn off all your specials.
Yeah, I guess what will determine the game is if anyone gets a lockout, it'll be just who can figure out how to break that lock and get back into mid, and that's going to be the determining factor on who's better at playing it, I think.
Yeah, so I see the game is about to start, so we are going in to game 1 of Losers Finals for Riptide, and we have Starburst versus Arctic Moon, game 1 Wahoo Zones.
So we're actually going to be starting off seeing a 96 gal on one of the sides, as well as a CDS. Very good painting. Actually, is that a CDS or a VDS? I actually can't tell right now. Either way, both really good weapons to play on this map. There's going to be a lot of range, and they have insane painting potential, which is, of course, what you want to see on zones.
Yeah, that is a VDS from Ice. So we do see the missiles come out from Ice, and immediately 2 down on each side right now as the game is starting. Though Starburst does have control of the zone right now, as we're seeing them try so frankly to keep it, but I didn't see exactly what happened there, but now Arctic Moon has got the zone. They're starting to push up. Each team has 3 up right now.
Yeah, looking like a mad dash in the beginning here. Very neutral game. Ross getting the little bag on Jared there after getting that nice pick. Going to be pushing up here into the core area and just getting a lot of ground, trying to build up that jet, and he's going to probably try and pop it as soon as possible.
Yeah, we can see Ice right now popping those missiles and the armor coming out as well from Starburst right now as they need to get into the zone. There is no penalty for Arctic Moon right now. We're seeing Twig use this Twig bomb to try and counter it, and the Inkjet coming out from Ross, but with 2 going down, it's just Twig up left here in the zone and does get a pick on Ice, though is finally called out.
Yeah, Twig using those splash walls really, really well to his ability, just making sure no one can even pass him or get around him, and living through all those bomb rushes. And I mean, it was just insane. Just being able to live that situation just shows how skilled that he is.
Yeah, just Twig being able to stay in the zone, even though the zone was capped completely around them. That was pretty insane. It really gave fortitude to their skill. So the lead has now switched over to the Starburst side, but Arctic Moon is playing this really safely. They know, hey, we can get the lead back at any point right now. So they have used specials to push into zone. They're going to go get these picks before they cap the zone. And finally, they do cap the zone, but 2 are down on the side of Arctic Moon right now, and that's 3 down. It's just Ross.
Yeah, Nick not backing out of any sort of fight at all. Unfortunately, that is going to be a full wipe onto the side of Arctic Moon, allowing the cap to go back in the favor of Starburst. Neither team have much of a penalty on them. In fact, it's just about the exact same. So it really is looking like a mostly neutral game. 8 points is barely anything on zone. It's just a matter of Arctic Moon getting back out of their base with Starburst pushing up. So far, it's going to be very difficult, especially with Twig down.
Yeah, just pushing up and just continuing this. There is no penalty right now for Starburst, so they are doing what I talked about earlier. They're setting up that wall of defense, and they're going to not try. They're going to do everything they can to not let Arctic Moon come in. We're seeing the Inkjet and missiles come out, but with 2 down right now and only 15 points left, it's just Twig left in zone. Twig's trying so hard to paint the zone, and we see jumps come in. It looks like Jared is right there to capitalize on that. Does get that pick on Twig.
Oh, no.
He's going to throw out a little squid bag. And just like that, game 1 going to Starburst.
Twig looking almost like he was going to be able to cap the zone all by himself. He had some jump-ins, but unfortunately with the 2v1 and soon becoming that 2v2, it just ended up being a loss for them, and not being able to get back into the zone on time caused Starburst to very convincingly get that win. After a very neutral game, like that whole mid game was very, very neutral and going very back and forth. So just Starburst proving that they can hold that a little bit longer just is what got them the game.
Yeah, and we're getting to see this really interesting playback at the end. We could see Arctic Moon trying really hard, Shinx and Twig, to just jump in and at least stall the zone for their teammates to come in, but Jared was right there to just notice that, capitalize on it, and had to throw in the little squid bag while they were at it.
Yeah, definitely going to get into their opponent's heads a little bit there. Obviously, you know, he's feeling himself, and this is all done with love, of course. At this level, you know, all these players know each other. And, you know, just a little bit of taunting ain't going to hurt too many people up here.
Yeah, all these players know each other very well. They play each other all the time in scrims, so definitely a little love squid back there.
And of course, you know, they know that the audience is going to be seeing that too, so they're, you know, for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that Arctic Moon has lost the first game, remember, this is counter picks. So going into the next game, it looks like I can hear they are queued up and ready to go. I don't quite know what the counter pick is yet, but I guess we'll see in a moment here. So this will be game 2 on Arctic Moon's counter pick.
Yeah, they picked that very fast, so they know exactly what they're good at.
They did. So game 2, the counter pick for Arctic Moon is tower control on Inkblot Art Academy. We're seeing the weapons come out here, and I am seeing double armor on the side of Arctic Moon with Shinx on that tri-slosher, and then on the other side, the main weapon switch-ups I see are Ice on the Splash, and then Bran on the Rapid Blaster.
Yeah, we actually saw 3 people running stealth jump on the side of Arctic Moon, and I know even though that's pretty common here, it's giving me Splatoon 1 flashbacks, just with tower control being the mode. We're going to be probably seeing a lot of jump-ins and a lot of aggressive playstyle just based on that alone. Brand getting a good direct on him. Can he get the spark on Nick? Actually, he doesn't. So Nick does take him out eventually, but it is just going to be Nick and I believe Ross left on the side of Arctic Moon. That's giving Starburst the ability to push up all the way up into their bats here. Just getting in this 1v1 now with Ross.
Yeah, can't forget Jared on the dualies. Jared is so good with the dualies, and we're seeing him just doing exactly that as he's pushing up here and just dodging and weaving to act as a distraction to tell his teammates are able to come up. Does get that inkjet pick on Ross, and that means there's only 1 up left right now for Arctic Moon. It's just Twig. We see Shinx here dropping down and getting that pick on Jared, but is going to jump back to try and regroup with their teammates.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of picks onto Arctic Moon, but now it's just going to be 1 member left of Starburst up, so they are going to be able to recuperate and hopefully capture a bit of mid and some paint control. Getting back up here, it looks like they're not able to get that so fast. It looks like maybe they're just recuperating a lot of what was in their base now. Jared getting in this fight, and unfortunately does go down there as well, leaving only Twig up from Arctic Moon. This isn't looking good for them so far, unfortunately.
Yeah, Twig doing a really good job of recognizing that they've got to jump out and regroup with their teammates to play defense here. And with the tower continuing to be pushed by Starburst, you know, and they have armor also. Throwing out this bomb rush, Bran has this baller ready too. There's so much pressure coming out right now from Starburst.
With that Booyah Bomb coming back out on the checkpoint, they really don't want them to get that. They're going to try and reset this checkpoint as best as they can. They do not want Starburst to get this at point in time, because once you pass that checkpoint, it can be very, very difficult to continue defending. And with 2 members of Arctic Moon down once again, they're going to have to pop that inkjet in a bit of a desperation to try and clear this tower area and get people off of their bats. Ice pushing all the way up onto that tarp and getting that pick onto the inkjet. And now it's just going to be a 2v2 and a fight for bats.
Woo, man. That was a lot of stalling and a lot of trying to continue that. We're seeing Jared pushing up here, and they recognize that they're just continuing to get picks and juggle this so well. I mean, the tower has stayed in this position for so long right now. They're just continuing to juggle it. And finally, okay, Bran, we see you getting that nice spark and that pick. But finally, Arctic Moon is trying to get in a position. I haven't seen them be able to get into mid like this for quite some time.
Yeah, no, they're finally clearing up the mid. You can see all that green paint. Jared dropping onto that far right side here, picking a fight with Twig and actually losing it. Now Ice and Nick are going to be collapsing on, and now it's actually going to be a 3 down. This looks very promising for Arctic Moon. They just have to hop on that tower and continue going. They have no points on the board yet as of right now, so clearing these checkpoints is going to be very integral for them. However, looking at these comps here, Starburst doesn't have a lot of potential for breaking these checkpoints away from Arctic Moon. They don't have any specials that are going to force them off immediately. So Arctic Moon could potentially use this to their advantage.
They could. Looks like Ice is going to try and jump on. Is on the tower to watch these jump-ins, though. Is going to get picked by Shinex, but Nick is right there to try and just continue these jump-ins. But guess what? Jared recognizing that immediately and takes down the 2 jump-ins and the 1 jump-in and Nick. So guess what? Jared is going to push up immediately. They know that they have the advantage right now, and they're going to continue the pressure.
Yeah, well, they didn't get very far in that push itself. They actually were able to break that first checkpoint, which is kind of a difficult one sometimes on this map. So this should help them at least later in the late game if they do get another push off in this last minute.
Yeah, we only have 50 seconds left
Twig
here.
getting the pick on a Jared, that's so important. Getting the pick on Ice as well during the bomb rush. It's only the 96 gal left on Starburst. They're going to have to move up very fast here. They need to clear these checkpoints and get up on the top left there where that 96 is camping out right now.
They do. You can see them using this Booyah Bomb from Twig to try and clear out this bats area. And Ross does have this Inkjet ready. Ross pops the Inkjet and has armor for it. That's so good for them to get these picks. They know they are on the tower right now, and they are sitting so good right now.
They cleared that checkpoint. They cleared the checkpoint. Oh, my God. Okay, wait. So now they're trying to bomb it out of the checkpoint. Unfortunately, the Slotcher does go down. That is going to be 1 armor lost, and they do need that. Nick can charge his own, but they do have to move fast. They only have 13 seconds left, and if Starburst wants to play this right, they can just leave that tower where it is, and it's only going to move very slowly in a mid. It's only Twig left in the 2v1, but we know Twig. We know he can get these picks. He just needs to move to the tower right away. He does get the pick, but it's unfortunately too late.
Man. He moved just to the tower, exactly like you said. He got the pick, but wasn't able to get on it in time. So, man, really good job to both teams there. But, I mean, Starburst getting on that defense in that last portion of that was really good for them because Arctic Moon had a lot of momentum going into their push.
Oh, yeah, they had so much momentum, and there was no checkpoint in the way at that very last moment, which is why I freaked out so much because they could have just easily gotten to that last checkpoint. Starburst hadn't yet broken that one, so they didn't really need to wait that long. It was maybe only like a half a checkpoint or 2/3 of it that they needed to get. So definitely a bit of my heart's kind of freaking out after seeing that a little bit. Obviously, I want to see as many games as possible coming out of this, and, you know, that being a very close game, and at the beginning, I just didn't think it was going to be that close. However, this does give Arctic Moon another chance to make a counter pick here, and hopefully one that maybe won't work so well in the favor of Starburst.
Yeah, you know, it almost makes me wonder, did they counterpick that to maybe counterpick Ice being an anchor player? Because Ice was, I don't know if it was maybe forced to switch off, but definitely did switch off an anchor role and played the splash. So I'm wondering, you know, what was their reasoning going into that? And actually, we do see the next counter pick in Clam Blitz on the Reef. So that is going to be Arctic Moon's Game 3 counter pick.
Okay, yeah. That is definitely an interesting one. They have been playing a very aggressive playstyle so far, and with Twig, basically, I don't expect him to be switching off 52 gal anytime soon. I think that's a really good pick for that specific map. Just the Booyah Bomb is able to clear so many areas, and having control with the bridge just by having those splash walls, I think he's going to be able to use that really well there.
I do too. I think that 52 is going to come really into play here. And we're getting to see some playbacks here. Ice getting that really good pick. And then Nick trying just so hard to continue this, but is immediately called out by Jared. I loved that play. Jared was right there to capitalize on that.
Yeah, you could definitely sense a little bit of panic coming out of Arctic Moon with those jump-ins there to tower. They did have 3 stealth jumps, so what we're seeing may not have necessarily been the exact thing that Jared was seeing. But of course, you know, if they paid attention to that, they would know that those they had those stealth jumps. So, you know, paying attention to the tower and watching when they come in is definitely what they were. I definitely think that that's what they were going for. Of course, they were going to play bodyguard on that tower no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we go into Game 3 here, do you think... Okay, but they're readied up. So I was going to ask what you thought Ice was going to pick here in particular, but... We're going right into it, so we get to see right away.
I mean, you know, we don't even need to wait for me to give you that answer. I think ice has just been an absolute wild card so far this set, so I have no idea what to say. Like, anything could come out of it. Splash once again, actually.
Yeah, Ice sticking with the splash here, and then actually another notable change here is the squeezer for Starburst, and then Bran on the Tri-Slosher, and then on Arctic Moon we're seeing a similar comp as to what we have been seeing, but the main switch up I'm seeing is that Kensa splatter shot.
Yeah, so actually those missiles are going to be very good. It's going to track out anyone who might be sharking in a little puddle, which is something that can be kind of terrifying on Flamblitz in particular, especially on this map like the Reef where you have multiple routes to basket that you can't necessarily all watch at the same time. It's going to be a mad dash to fight for the bridge right now. Just 1v1s on both sides. Shinix actually getting the team pick on a King Dog 666. I have no idea. And getting the secondary pick on ice with that burst bomb there. Just really great team fights coming out, but Brand getting that clean up with the Tri-Slosher. He's going to be holding on to 9 clams, making that power so no one can rob him. Cleaning up into the street here. That might be a loss for the power clam there, though, however, since it's now in a very bad position for Starburst to pick that back up.
Yeah, that's at a point where Starburst probably just has to leave that power climb there. And Arctic Moon is actually putting on so much pressure right now on this bridge with that Twigs wall set up, and they have a lot of paint. And if you look at the clams right now also, Arctic Moon has 15 clams at the ready. We're going to see Nick use these missiles here to try and get a push going. Inkjet also coming out from Ross. Finally, we do see the barrier break, and Arctic Moon has to continue getting clams in here.
Yeah, they're getting quite a good push right now. Ross holding some pressure onto the stair area and watching over bridge. Of course, this is also a really good defensive spot to hold as well. They don't want Starburst collecting that if anyone goes down, because bridge is basically everything on Reef Clans. If you have bridge, you can ultimately make a push whenever you want. It's such a huge threat to have control over that area. It's a major turning point for any game. So just this mad dash for bridge going on right now. One member down on either side. It's just kind of playing the stalemate. Of course, with Arctic Moon having that lead right now, that means Starburst is going to be forced to push up a little bit.
Yeah, Starburst here trying to play really carefully and gets bridge control finally, but they do have Ice go down as they were getting that bridge control. Jared, though, on the flank, gets one pick and gets another pick on Twig. I don't know if they see him. Yeah, they do see Jared here. Jared getting another pick on Ross and just continuing this pressure. Looks like he's zeroing in here on this last member. Does get the pick on Nick as well. Jared is here to lead this charge.
Yeah, Jared getting these insane picks one by one, just tackling every member of Arctic Moon and singling them out. They're going to have to team up in order to take out Jared, and he's being a huge threat on this left side here. Going to be tackling the car area, already getting a few hits on a Twig, I believe, and just needs to move up, and they need to focus more attention onto Jared right now. But with these bubbles coming out, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, Arctic Moon not able to do anything or pay attention. They have to pay attention to Jared and the bubbles. They do get the lead. I love the way they set up this push with their special, and Jared is going to continue to just be such a nuisance. They haven't been able to shut him down.
Finally, after getting like 2 or 3 people onto Jared while he was already on their car, they're able to take him out. But the damage has already been done. They've gotten the lead. They're already down to 39. And Twig is now going to be moving up in retaliation here, taking this bridge back. And with multiple picks going down on Starburst here, this looks like the start of another push for them. Getting the pick on Jared, that's huge. They have 8 clams at the ready and a power clam from that pity. They're going to be moving up and potentially getting the lead here. They don't have a whole lot of penalty. That's going to be the lead for Arctic Moon.
Oh, you can see they're like, just score clams and we need to get the lead. That's one of those moments, and Twig is continuing to just add pressure. Shinix, okay, Shinix gets even more clams in and takes some picks with them. So now the lead has substantially shifted into Arctic Moon's favor.
Yeah, and with that being one big push from Starburst, they do have a lot of penalty to burn through here if they want to get their lead back. They have 30 clams. That's going to be an entire power clam at the very least to get the lead. They need a whole lot, and you know, as members go down, they are going to lose those. So Jared needs to definitely take out Shinix. That's going to be their first line of defense coming out here. They're going to pop the bubbles onto the basket once again. Hopefully, if they have some sort of shredder here, they can take it out. They need more than that. He's going down to the suction bomb. It's only going to be Ice just sitting in the bubbles here, trying to live as best as he can, but going down to that inkjet from Ross.
Oh my gosh. Such good defense right there from Arctic Moon, and they are pushing up immediately. They know they have such a good advantage right now, so they've pushed up, gotten map control, and we see Ross just holding that bridge with the Nautilus. So with 20 seconds left right now, Starburst needs to get a power clam.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've already burnt through. I think they burnt through their pity clam there. So they do have one member holding 8 at the moment. But if he does get taken out by Shinex, they have to recollect all of that. It's only going to be the Tri-Slosher left, and Twig is moving up with 9. He can just end this game right here if he wants. He's just going to wait and pick it right up with 1 second left.
Oh my gosh.
Arctic Moon coming back. They're building up some steam. They're building the pressure. But now, given that they've won this game, it is going to be the counter pick for Starburst.
Wow, what a game 3. Like, Arctic Moon came into that so just, their presence was so there, and they were playing that really well. I mean, Starburst got that one really, really good push in, but Arctic Moon, man, I don't know, they were just playing that just amazingly. And I like at the end too, we saw Twig there just sharking. I was like, okay, we'll just end this right now.
Yeah, I think they were able to pick up on the pattern that Starburst was relaying like very quickly. They sort of had Jared pushing that left street, and then they had the squeezer coming in and popping those bubbles right under the basket. And once you do a push like that, they're going to kind of figure out that that's what your game plan is. So once you do it once and you get one really good push with it, they're going to know, hey, next time, okay, we see Jared coming up, that means the bubbles are coming into the street. Now we have to start, chucking the bombs at it, and then we'll deal with Jared in a second. That's what the plan is, and they did it excellently.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. They caught on to what Starburst was doing really fast, and were getting just amazing picks that they needed to be able to stop that once they got onto that. I mean, there was Jared trying to come in around the flank and just act as a distraction, and then Bubbles coming in from the front of that too. There's 2 things you have to look at when you're trying to defend the basket, and once Arctic Moon caught on to that and was able to work around that, they had that just locked down.
Mm-hmm. An amazing comeback for Arctic Moon here. And now looking like Starburst has picked Splat Zones on Albacore for this. I think this is an excellent pick for them, given they have Ice, an amazing backline player, and Jared is, playing these CDS like an absolute madman this set, I would say. Just really getting up in their faces. And of course, Albacore being a map that favors long-range weapons so well because of those long bridges that you can't really swim on or anything. So long-range just excels super, super, super well here. And I think because of that, that's why they picked it. I mean, Jared is clearly acting as their star player in this set so far. And, they're going to try and optimize him as best as possible by putting him on a map that's going to be good for him.
Yeah, I actually saw Starburst counterpick this earlier on in the bracket. They counterpicked this against not FT Win. And Ice was actually playing the custom Jet Squelcher. So I'm interested if that's going to come back. We saw him playing the vanilla Jet Squelcher. And then, of course, CDS is so good on this map and mode together. And Jared on those, I could see this being a pick that they're just really comfortable with, and they know that the weapons that they play can play really well here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we see Ice on that C-Jet once again, it's just going to be a whole lot of long range that Arctic Moon isn't necessarily known for. Of course, 52 is very good. Just their comps in general tend to be a bit more short range, more, powerhouse and in your face. So obviously that's definitely the reason that Starburst picks that.
Yeah, so we are getting into game 4 here, and as the weapons come out here, we are seeing that long range from Starburst. We see a Rapid Blaster, the Squelchies, and then the Squeezer and Jet Squelcher, or the Squelcher coming out from Ice, of course.
Yeah, not a short-range weapon in sight, actually. All of them really, really good painting weapons. So great for zones as well. This is, honestly, this is one of the most optimal comps I think you could have on a certain map mode. Nick going to be rolling in the zone and getting, unfortunately, stuck in a corner versus 3 members of Starburst. Twig going to be fighting for his life on this pillow here, popping that Booyah Bomb just to live, but catching someone out on the flank, getting Jared caught in that corner. That's going to be a great pick, and it should help them get back into the zone here in mid.
Yeah, it's also notable too. Arctic Moon actually has a Jet Squelcher of their own. I love that they're using that to counter and use that as their range advantage. We're seeing Twig actually over on the other team's street and just popping off here. I don't know if that was the Stingray that got that pick, that second pick, but Twig just following that Stingray and just helping get those picks.
Twig actually getting caught out before he can even start his Booyah Bomb. That's going to be 2 members down onto the side of Arctic Moon, and now Starburst is going to get their chance to come back and paint. So Arctic Moon holding pressure pretty decently here actually on this one side. And looking like one of their members is actually going to climb over to that left side of their bridge and going to flank around just a little bit. Now Bran and Ice actually having to deal with him climbing up on this wall, but it is going to be Twig, and he has the upper hand here. He almost gets caught on that jump there, but Jared rolling in. It's just going to be a 1v1 with him and Nick. Going to be a complete trade and a full wipe on one side.
Yeah, that's a full wipe right now on Starburst. So Arctic Moon sitting really nicely in the zone. We're seeing Ross trying to paint all those angles and just add pressure with that range that he does have. And Starburst right now trying to get their specials to get in a position. They have 2 specials at the ready. They are going to go ahead and use those specials to try and push in. Armor and missiles coming out, and the bubbles also coming out. So let's see if they can cap the zone. They do pop the bubbles and finally cap the zone. And sometimes that's all you need to at least cap the zone.
Yeah, Kingdog here going to be trying to stop this ray pressure coming in, but Twig coming to save him. Getting that pick, and that's super, super important. Popping that Booyah Bomb on his own, pressuring the people back. Bran getting caught up in it, and now he's going to be able to catch this one member of Starburst in the corner there. Kind of catching them out there. And as members are respawning, they're just trying to sort of hold pressure and paint into their base and stop them from coming back to zone. They don't want them in there. However, that long rapid there from Bran is going to be able to poke him out without even really giving him a chance to react.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Ross here, the last one up on Arctic Moon, trying to hold. Looks like he was trying to hold this right position, but recognized that, hey, I need to save this Stingray for our pushback in. So Ross very smartly jumping back out and then trying to get in a position to regroup. Is going to use this Stingray to help enable their teammates to push in on the right side. But right now with Armor now coming out from Shinnex, looks like Arctic Moon was able to get a pick on Jared. I didn't necessarily see what happened, but that is going to enable them to push into the zone here and get a pick. And then gets that pick on the squeezer as well. So they're doing really well with their pushbacks in, and they only have 20-point penalty.
Yeah, we actually did see a little minor lead switch there in that last push from Starburst. It's a very, very tiny one. And with 2 members down once again on Starburst, this is looking like it's going to be it. There's no penalty for Arctic Moon anymore. So they're going to get this, and they're going to be moving up. With 2 members still down and just respawning and coming back, this is a huge opportunity for Arctic Moon to extend their lead significantly.
Yeah, and with Twig here just guarding these corners, I mean, that's so scary. We see the Stingray coming out from Ross as well, just guarding the zone. 1 down right now in Arctic Moon, 2 down, and Jared there leading the charge along with Kingdog to push into the zone and recap it. Now that is going to give Arctic Moon a 49-point penalty, and we're in the last minute of this, so Starburst really, really has to have their defense on lock here.
That Stingray coming out, looking like it's just trying to deal with somebody coming out on the flank. Now moving that attention over to the zone where Bran and Kingdog are just waiting out for members of Arctic Moon. Nick getting this pick on Jared, that's massive, but unfortunately with 2 members of Arctic Moon down right now, this could be a lead switch over. They only have 1 chance to really come back in before Arctic Moon loses their chance at a knockout here. 10-9-8 is going to be it. Twig coming in and getting picked right away. Kingdog going to get this pick, and that is going to be a lead switch back over to Starburst in the very last seconds of the game and going to be a knockout.
Wow, in the last seconds of the game, and then the lead that Arctic Moon already had was really, really, really good. So Starburst able to just hold on. They knew that they didn't need to overextend, and they knew that they just needed to play the zone, let Arctic Moon use their specials, and just keep the zone, and they played that so beautifully.
Yeah, it looked like it was really, really close to getting to a game 5 there when Arctic Moon pushed it down to 4. If they had just been able to hold the zone a little bit longer and stay alive, I think that would have been the major difference in that game. So this is going to mean that Starburst will be leading and going back into grand finals versus not FT win.
Yeah, that means in grand finals we get to watch a rematch of Starburst versus not FT win. So these 2 teams actually played each other earlier on in the bracket, and not FT win is what sent Starburst over into the loser side of the bracket. So we get to see a rematch, and then also, you know, is this going to be Starburst, you know, having momentum and potentially having momentum and being able to use that as they go into grand finals?
I think so. I'd like to see a harder fight than before. You know, when they last fought, I believe it was a 3-0 or a 3-1, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So obviously for me as a commentator, I want to see I definitely want to see more games happening than just, you know, you know, like a 3-0 or a 4-0.
Yeah.
So, you know, coming into this, Starburst definitely has to do some adapting. But I definitely think they have it in them now.
I know, you know, maybe they're warmed up a little bit more. Maybe they're ready to have more strats, synergy going on into the day. Of course, you need to warm up when you come to a LAN and just get reestablished with the settings. So
Yeah.
we are going to see what happens. We are going to go ahead and head to a break, but don't go anywhere. Up next is Grand Finals for Splatoon 2 at Riptide.